Hi, today's topic is about something I have realized recently with, watching people, is that people tend to just take for granted things, like a lot, and they don't even realize the things they have, and they complain about them, even when they lose them out of pride. So, yeah, let's get into it. I think we are all guilty of today's topic, of today's little sin, for a way of calling it. We're all in part, a little bit ungrateful with our lives and with the things we have. But some people go far and beyond when it comes to entitlement, and they don't actually realize what a precious thing they have. And even when they lose it, out of pride, they don't want to, acknowledge that they have wasted something amazing. And it's a really sad thing to watch. And sometimes I wonder, when I encounter myself and thinking, I hope I'm not one of those, just like, I don't want to be that person that looking back and I had everything and I just wasted it, or I was just ungrateful about it. So yeah, I complain and I moan like everyone, but I do my best to try to avoid that sort of issue because I see it so often, and it's just so difficult. Like for example, the other day I had a mother that she had brought her son many times due to math and Spanish, and suddenly she spoke to me. She brought him to one of the classes and she told me, yes, because we need to improve and we need to do this and this, that, and do that, and do that. And I was like, oh my God, yes, because he didn't did that well on the test. And I was like, how much did you got? And the boy was like, I had an 8. He felt crushed because that 8 was not being valued. Before I met him, he had a 3 and a 6.5, which is below 7, which is everything below standard. And from that to an 8, it took him a humongous amount of effort. And she was just nitpicking on the thing that he failed at and not congratulating him for the things he did well. And you could tell he was so crushed. And I have been there. I've been that kid. I have seen it and I have felt it in my bones. When the only thing they care about, everyone around you, is when you do something wrong and they nitpick on the things you do wrong. And this is exactly why I'm such an annoyance to myself. And I'm like, I need to be perfect all the time. And it's like, no, I don't. Nobody cares. Like, for example, I'm fixing my hair so nobody sees me in an improper manner. Like, how many subscribers do I have? 50? 52? 53? I don't know. Maybe mid-November I have more. But the point is, when everyone around you is not valuing the things you have or the things you do or the efforts you make, the relationship is going to die sooner or later. And the sooner you catch yourself being ungrateful and being like this, and this, and not valuing the things around you, the things you have. There's a truck. I'm sorry about the sound, but I don't have much time. I'm sorry. The sooner you realize about that mistake, the faster you can correct it. Because I can assure you, people get tired of that attitude, like really fast. That kid is brilliant, and he could be a genius, but I would bet that in his teenage years, he's going to rebel and he's going to start failing in every task. And not because He's not brilliant, but because he's being put under too much pressure. And more importantly, the things he does well, the things, the accomplishment he has, they're not being valued. And it's just like in a romantic couple, like when one of the dynamic is doing a load of effort and the other one is just like nagging all the time, and people just get tired and the relationship withers away and dies. It's the same. Unfortunately, we are like that. We don't value things until we lose them. And some people, not even after that, not even after losing everything, they realize that they have made a humongous mistake and they have pulled the cord a little bit too much. And they have put way too much pressure on the people they shouldn't have pressured too much. Maybe, just maybe, their lives would be easier if they just stopped pushing people around and forcing them to go above and beyond every single damn day. And at least if you're going to push people, because this is the thing, as a tutor, I push people around to be their best selves every single day. But whenever they have something good and they have done something right, I'm like, yeah! Because if I don't, I would be exhausted too. I know I have been. I know how miserable is that soul crushing task of trying to fulfill everyone's expectations, and then people are just like, oh, really? That was just expected from you, you know? That was the very least you could have done. I'm like, I'm sorry? Excusez-moi? No, you have no idea how much effort that took. It was a humongous amount of it. And if we don't value people, things, and this is for anything, electricity, water, food, I value my job. And I don't know if I'm going to post video number 50, which is about how I'm probably going to have to quit this job. But I still value it. I mean, I do. It would seem like I'm an ungrateful little bitch. And I'm just complaining all the time, but I really value my job and I value everything about it. But that's the thing, when you push the people too much, they get tired. I think everyone is like that, and we are all guilty of this. We have all been somewhat entitled at one point in time and assumed that was just the expectable thing and the reasonable thing to be done and the expected thing and the expected effort, and we take things for granted, and sometimes we value them when we lose them, but some of us won't even do that, and if they do, they don't seem to show it out of pride. So yeah, I try my best not to be like that, and to value the people and things I have while I have them. While I have them, you know. So yeah, tell me, what's the thing that people take for granted the most? I think people take for granted the most is other people in their lives. And basic things like water and sewage system and electricity and a roof. So needed. I think we're taking for granted so many things, and that's what it's making us miserable. I think that the most miserable people I have met were the most entitled and the ones who took for granted everything and everyone and everyone's efforts. I have seen them and they're just miserable. Nowadays it's fashionable to call them narcissistic, but I think it's not just narcissistic people. There's a humongous amount of people with complexes that just take everything for granted, and they don't appreciate things. Not even when they're gone. And they're just like, huh, well, whatever, I will replace them. And I'm like, okay. All right. I know what kind of human being I'm dealing with now. But yeah, it's not just pathology, it's not generation. There is always in every group of people that one person that just, whether they, because they can't admit it or because they're really incapable of valuing things, even when they lose them, they just can't value what they have, and they're always miserable, always, and they're never happy. Nothing is enough, nothing. So it's just like, it's that cautionary tale. It's that old woman, in the woods that wanted to be young forever, and nothing was enough. And no matter how many evil things she did, how many treasures she had, she's always the troll on the castle because nothing is enough. It's greedy beyond compare. It's just like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to grow old like that. It just, no. So well, I have to leave you until next time. I hope you're doing great and that you have things to be valued in your life, and I'm sure you do. And until next time, I hope you're having a blissful day, and I hope the sound is acceptable. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do what I can. And until next time, bye-bye.